Your Amazon cart has 37 tactical flashlights, enough paracord to repel off the moon, and a knife that would make Rambo feel inadequate. Meanwhile, you don't own a manual can opener. Your only medication expired during Obama's first term, and you think dental floss is just for people who lie to their dentist. You're about to learn why the most valuable survival items are boring as hell, why nobody's trading ammunition for your collectible coins, and why that person hoarding antibiotics is going to own your tactical flashlight collection by date 10. Let's start with the unglamorous truth. When the grid drops, you won't die from zombie bites or radiation poisoning. You'll die from an infected cut, dehydration from diarrhea, or because you can't see what you're doing when you trip over your tactical gear in the dark. The items that'll save your life are so boring that preppers don't even make YouTube videos about them. There's no sexy thumbnail for "I survived because of reading glasses." First, prescription medications and antibiotics. Not fish antibiotics from the pet store that you're pretty sure are the same thing. Actual, unexpired medications. Here's what nobody tells you. Your doctor will prescribe extras if you say you're traveling internationally. Just don't mention the travel destination is your basement after society collapses. Blood pressure meds, insulin, antidepressants, whatever keeps your meat computer functioning. Going cold turkey off SSRIs during the apocalypse isn't character building. It's a speedrun to becoming a casualty. Antibiotics are worth more than gold because that small cut that gets infected will kill you just as dead as a bullet, just slower and more painfully. Amoxicillin, doxycycline, metronidazole, learn the names, expiration dates, and storage requirements. Your tough guy neighbor with the arsenal, he'll trade every gun he owns for antibiotics when his kid's fever hits 104. Second, dental supplies that aren't just a toothbrush, temporary filling material, dental cement, clove oil for pain. You know what won't be after collapse? Dentists. You know what doesn't care about societal breakdown? Tooth decay. An abscessed tooth can kill you. It's a straight highway from your jaw to your brain for bacteria. That tooth pain you've been ignoring because you hate the dentist, it's going to become your entire personality when there's no Novocaine left. Dental floss isn't just for teeth. It's fishing line, suture material, and the world's smallest saw. Those little dental mirrors, checking wounds you can't see, looking around corners, signaling, more useful than your tactical tomahawk. Third, reading glasses, multiple pairs, even if you don't need them now. Every prescription from plus 1.00 to plus 3.00. You know what you can't do without reading glasses after 40? Read medication labels, remove splinters, repair anything small, identify edible plants, read maps, or do any close work that keeps you alive. They weigh nothing, cost less than a single box of ammunition, and turn anyone over 40 from useless to functional. They're also perfect barter, because everyone's too proud to admit they need them until they actually need them. That tough prepper who can shoot a target at 500 yards can't see his own hands without readers. Here's where everyone screws up. They buy the exciting stuff and skip the mundane items that actually determine survival. Fourth, baking soda. Boxes and boxes of it. Not for your grandmother's cookies, for everything. Toothpaste when there's none left. Antacid for when you're eating questionable food. Deodorant so people can stand being near you. Cleaning agent, fire extinguisher, fungicide for plants. Mix it with water for upset stomach, skin irritations, or UTI symptoms. It neutralizes battery acid, removes radioactive contamination from vegetables, and can even work as shampoo. It lasts forever if kept dry. While everyone's fighting over the last bottle of Tums, you're sitting on 50 pounds of aluminum-3 multi-purpose survival powder that cost you $20. Fifth, feminine hygiene products, and not for the reason you think. Tampons and pads, regardless of gender. Tampons are sterile, absorbent, and designed to stop bleeding, exactly what you need for puncture wounds. They're also fire starters, water filters, and field expedient bandages. Pads are literally designed to absorb blood all day while staying in place. That's exactly what you want for wound care. No one's raiding the feminine hygiene aisle during looting because toxic masculinity extends even into the apocalypse. Their loss, your gain. That guy who's too manly to buy tampons is going to bleed out from a wound you could have packed. Sixth, petroleum jelly. Vaseline, multiple tubs. Fire starter that burns for minutes even in rain. Rust prevention for tools. barrier against chafing that'll cripple you faster than a broken ankle. Wound sealer for small cuts. Mixed with cotton for emergency candles. Prevents frostbite, treats eczema, protects battery terminals, waterproofs matches. You can even eat it. It's a laxative, which sounds funny until you're dealing with constipation from eating nothing but stored rice for 2 weeks. That tactical beard you're growing, it'll need this when it starts itching so bad you consider shaving with your combat knife. 7th, safety pins by the hundreds, not the tiny ones, real quality pins in multiple sizes. They're the duct tape of the clothing world. Fishing hooks, trap triggers, lock picks, surgical pins for closing wounds, splinter removers, zipper replacements. They turn a blanket into a shelter, a sheet into clothing, and hold bandages when medical tape is a Mary. They're electrical conductors, fuses for emergency repairs, and even makeshift handcuff picks if things get spicy. While everyone's learning to sew with their paracord, you're fixing everything instantly with technology the Romans would recognize. The really dark truth? These 7 items cost less than that single tactical rifle scope you've been eyeing, but they'll keep you alive longer than any amount of firepower. Because collapse isn't a shooting competition, it's an endurance race where the winner is whoever stays functional longest. 8th, caffeine pills and instant coffee. Not for your morning routine, for survival. Half the population is chemically dependent on caffeine. Withdrawal causes debilitating headaches, fatigue, and inability to function for days to weeks. Now imagine that happening during a crisis. Caffeine pills weigh nothing, last years, and prevent withdrawal. They're also barter gold to the desperate. Instant coffee isn't about taste, it's about maintaining normalcy, morale, and avoiding withdrawal that could get you killed. That person suffering caffeine withdrawal can't stand watch, can't make good decisions, can't function. For $10 in pills, you've prevented a critical vulnerability. 9th, the item nobody thinks about until it's too late, written information. Physical books, medical guides, plant identification, repair manuals, maps. Not on your phone, not on a Kindle, actual paper. Where there is no doctor, where there is no dentist, local area maps, including topographical, edible plant guides specific to your region, the SAS Survival Handbook, Grey's Anatomy, the Merck Manual. Information becomes priceless when Google's dead. That guy with the photographic memory? He's lying. The person with the library? They're the new oracle. While everyone's trying to remember which berries are poisonous, you've got full color pictures. Knowledge doesn't need batteries, doesn't break, and can't be EMP'd. These aren't sexy items. They don't make good Instagram posts. You can't mount a scope on baking soda. Nobody's making tactical petroleum jelly. But when your neighbor's kid has an infected cut, when someone's tooth is killing them, when nobody can read the medicine bottles they looted, when everyone's clothes are falling apart, suddenly you're the most valuable person in 5 miles. The prepared person isn't the one with the most guns. It's the one who can stay clean, healthy, and functional while everyone else is falling apart from preventable problems. It's the boring stuff that keeps you alive. The exciting stuff just makes you a target. Want to know why that tough guy with the arsenal is going to end up working for the grandmother with the medical supplies? Why the ability to fix things becomes more valuable than the ability to break them? Why that person hoarding information will outlast everyone hoarding ammunition? Civilization doesn't end with a bang. It ends with an infected cut 3 weeks later, when you're staring at your hoarded antibiotics, realizing you don't know dosages, durations, or which one treats what. Having medical supplies without medical knowledge is like owning a gun with no idea which end the bullet comes out. Watch this video next, because when that red streak starts racing up your arm, the difference between medicine and poison is knowing what you're doing when Google's dead and the nearest doctor is fertilizing his own garden.